Not too long ago, I was reporting on the Zika virus, this epidemic that is happening right now in Brazil. Over 1 million people have been infected with this disease. It's transmitted by a mosquito bite. And now we've seen the first case in Texas, in Harris County, Texas, a woman that traveled from Texas to El Salvador, where there's another epidemic of the Zika virus, contracted the disease down there, flew back, and brought it to the States. She only had a rash and a fever, flu-like symptoms, yet authorities, Sasha, are concerned because this is transmitted by a mosquito bite. And because of how the Gulf of Mexico coast works, they are afraid that this might bring the disease with mosquitoes up north, and then we can have an epidemic. They say that poverty is an aspect that in some areas of Texas, you see that there's people that have open containers with water, there's puddles of water, tires, and things that harvest the growth of mosquitoes. So they are sending an official recommendation about people not getting pregnant because, as you recall, there's a connection in between microcephaly and Zika virus.
So in Brazil, they have about 1.5 million cases of the Zika virus, which has resulted in about 3,000 cases of microcephaly a year.
Correct.
And so this is something that are Texas officials saying that we need to be concerned? Is it epidemic level?
Here's the thing. They are very concerned because of the epidemic level in Brazil, because as we know, and in the other story we referred to that fact, the normal rate of microcephaly in Brazil is around 200 cases a year, and suddenly in a matter of 2 years, they saw a growth to 3,000 a year. So definitely all of those, most of those related to women that had the Zika virus during the pregnancy. Now, the Texas health authorities put out a new recommendation, general recommendation saying, pregnant women, please be aware, try not to get bitten by mosquitoes. They did not mention the Zika virus, preventing kind of a scare in mass that they have found these microcephaly birth defects in the States. They haven't, but yet they did edit the recommendations to add a strong recommendation for pregnant women not to try to avoid getting bitten by a mosquito. It's hard to completely avoid it, but this is a situation that is growing and is coming up. This virus was found in Uganda back in 1940. Never thought of it as a dangerous condition until the epidemic in Brazil. Now we see the epidemic also in El Salvador, where we see thousands upon thousands of people getting infected. There's some speculation that the virus came to Brazil through the World Cup, but in reality, the most up-to-date accepted theory is that from Uganda and Africa, it traveled to New Caledonia, Micronesia, French Polynesia, and then Easter Island in Chile, then the continental Latin America, and then it's making its way up. Although it's still early to call for an epidemic warning, I do believe that it's this type of issues that show that viruses are the worst threat to human populations. Now, we know that the Texas authorities in Harris County are saying, be careful if you're pregnant of getting bitten by a mosquito, because we have found the first case of Zika virus in the United States.